So we're here to talk today about the Young Ladies Radio League. And I have with me Ann Manna, and there's Ann in the pink blouse and WB1ARU. Ann's been with us as a member 50 years, do you think?
Not quite. 40,
Close.
40 something, 48, yes.
Okay, it's close enough. And she's our secretary, and she's going to talk about the beginnings of the YLRL. As you can see on my screen, we are 85 years young, and Anne's going to talk about the beginning, and I'll talk about a little bit about the present and the future. And I'm sure that you all heard that we were Ham of the Year for Dayton in Dayton, and Anne was blessed to be there, and maybe she'll tell us a little bit about the festivities in Dayton when they gave us the award. So we'll get right into it and move right along here. I'll turn it
Okay.
over to you, Dan. Anne.
Okay. Well, back in 1939, there was an ad in QST, which they put a lacy looking border around and everything. And the line in it that caught Ethel Smith's attention was a line that said something to the effect of, nobody knows, and goodness knows nobody will tell how many women key twitchers there are. And because everybody was on CW, nobody knew really. But 12 gals, well, first of all, Ethel wrote a letter back to QST asking YL key twitchers to respond to her, and made a comment that maybe we should start a YLRL. And 12 gals responded to her. And so we call them our founding mothers. And needless to say, they're all silent keys now, but I did have the pleasure of meeting Ethel a couple of different times when I was first a member. And she was a very talented woman. And her call sign, K4LMB, is now the call sign that belongs to Young Ladies Radio League, which we hope to be using in Zion, as a matter of fact. She was a dynamo, and I have a piece that I think it's on, I should have brought it up. There's not a eulogy, but a love letter to her, actually. It's from a young, not so young guy now, who was a young man in the greater DC area, who actually heard her on the air when he was a novice ham, and met up with her and was so inspired that he became a very active ham himself. But at any rate, in September of 1939, the dozen women, 13 women got together, and they wrote a constitution and bylaws, which, needless to say, have been reevaluated a few times, but are still in force. And in the first publication of our group was in November of 1939. And a month later, they named it YL Harmonics, which it is still called today. Those first issues were printed on a mimeograph machine and mailed out. And up until about 2 years ago, our publication was still being mailed to all members. Now we have a very short mailing list, and it's available online for the majority of members, with color and all kinds of great things that you can't afford to do in print. So by 1940, they had set a policy that the term YL was to be used for licensed amateur operators who were women, and they were all young ladies, no matter their age. And actually, it was, I guess, in response to the fact that the guys were calling themselves OMs. So it was kind of like an opposite thing. The old men named themselves that, and the YLs named themselves the young ladies. So 33 was also initiated in 1939 by one of the 13 gals, Clara, and it means love sealed with friendship between one YL and another YL. It's used by one YL to another in place of 7-3. And just like you don't say 7-3s, you don't say 33s. It's just 33.
You'd be surprised how many YLs don't know about 33. When I talk on the air to folks, I'll sign with 33 and then I'll say, do you know what 33 means? And then they'll say no. And I always try to educate people when I'm, on the air with another YL.
Good idea because they don't. But if you're a member of the YLRL, you learn.
You should know.
And by
Yeah,
19,
some of us expect YLs to always use 88s, and that's just a little overboard.
Yes.
um, by 1940, the early 1940, there were YL specific clubs across the country. Some formed more into the 50s, but there were probably 20 or 30 YL clubs at, and there are a lot, they're just different ones now. Some of the old ones have folded up and new ones have formed. In the February edition, 1940 edition of YL Harmonics, Enid Carter warned, beware the OM who himself off. W1IR has put on our membership list. Since it was discovered the only feminine thing about him was his desire to be a member of the YLRL. By the first anniversary, they've gone to 15 pages. The winner of the YLRL slogan contest was announced. I submitted the slogan that's still the YLRL motto today. QRV, I am ready.
And Anne, can you just mention that we don't take mail subscriptions, but we allow them to be a subscriber.
Right, we cannot be members, but we have subscribers are generally fellows that are teachers or club, have a club going for youth or whatever, and they help spread the word about our organization of YLRL, encouraging especially young women in the hobby, because we all know we're a significant minority. Of course, not long after all of this had happened, along came World War II, and no broadcasting, no ham radio activity, and the women instead started helping out as ham radio operators in teaching code and passing messages and becoming radio operators for the military, doing Red Cross work and so forth. And then when the war was over and operating began again, the club again became fully active. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt read an article written by Anita W-A-T-A-Y titled YLRL QRV. And you can read there her statement that she made or in a letter that she wrote. And I have read with interest the story of the work carried on by the Young Ladies Radio League, and I applaud your sincerity and enthusiasm. At a time when all of us must be alert to defend the institutions we cherish, the League is an inspiration, and I'm sure will have inestimable value should the need for active defense arise. And of course, that was during wartime that she wrote that.
So I'll pick up a little bit on the present, unless you had anything else you wanted to mention, Anne.
I would say that over the years, the membership has increased and has international members as well as US members and Canadian members, worldwide membership. And I'm not sure of the exact number of DXYLs right now, but I do know that the number of US members is approaching about 500. And our membership has gone anywhere over the years. It has gone up and down like a sine wave. Years as high as it went over 1,000 one year. So we
Wow.
hope to get there again.
Well, we really exist to support women and women all over the world who are amateur radio operators, and we want to help them with tips, with assistance, with their equipment, when they're having issues with clubs. A lot of times, sometimes they find clubs to not be welcoming. And so we try to help them get over that hump of feeling like they shouldn't be going to these meetings. So we really support women all over the world. Our YLRL.net is our website. And I wanted to give you a few statistics. In 2021, we had 500 visits to the website. In 2022, we had 7,000 visits to the website. In 2023, we had 8,500, and we're on task to move forward in 2024 over, right now we have about 8,000 visitors, and we're just halfway through the year when we took these statistics. So we're really growing, and people are very interested in the website that we have. Michelle Carey has been our web mistress, and she does an outstanding job in keeping up with the new things that we ask her to put on the web. We have a resource page that women can go to, or, if you are an OM, you can look at this website too and avail yourself of the tips and resources there. There's a lot of resources on the International Space Station, POTA, emergency communications, just so many things that women are interested in getting on the air. Our main users to the website are US, and we had 5,940 main users to the website. Canadian users were 315, and following that is the UK at 182. And one of the biggest hits to our website is our contest page. And I found that to be very interesting. So we'll talk a little bit more about the contests that we have as we move along in the presentation. This YL Harmonics is an electronic publication. As Anne said, it used to be sent by mail, but that became very onerous cost-wise. And so it's published bi-monthly, and the last couple issues have been 44 pages and 39 pages. And so women are getting a lot of information. It's packed full of information. In addition to the various topics, we've had YL's write articles on card checking, which I think is kind of a lost art, and people have a little fear of going before a card checker. And after this Ham wrote this nice article about that, I think it dispelled the myths of going before a card checker. We've had people talk about various other topics that are interesting, and they're all written by female hams that are very in tuned with the subject matter that they wrote on. So we have feature articles, and we encourage our districts, each of our districts, to send in information about what's going on in their district, and the people that are in their district write little blurbs about it, about what they're doing, and that all is funneled into the YL Harmonics. Deanna Lutz is our publisher for the Harmonics, and she has done a great job in really revamping it and making it look fabulous. So if you are a member, excuse me, you can see the publication online. And if you're not, you can see older issues. Excuse me. So we really encourage and assist YLs, no matter where they live, to become licensed amateur radio operators. We provide information on classes that are being taught by women for women. And Barbara Yassen in Oregon is one of the operators that actually does classes for women, and she does a fabulous job. She and Marilyn Melhorn work this class together, and they do both tech classes and general. Oop, see if I can go back here. Our contests. We have 2 contests that are supported every year. And in February, the OMs participate in the YLOM contest. And in 2019, I won the award. So I wanted to show you what the award looked like. It's got the woman on the world, which is our trademark. We love that. And it's a really, I just think this is such a special award. And it was a lot of fun doing it.
It is
So
a fun contest.
it is. It really is. I'm sure you've operated, Anne, in the contest. And Carol, have you operated?
I have 2 trophies.
Yeah, not recently, not
Okay.
recently.
I did it remotely last February.
Oh, how fun. That was fun. You were in Colorado.
Correct. And my station was in Massachusetts.
Excellent. Okay. And then in October, the YLs look for each other. And I always find that hard to find other YLs on the air because there's so few of us. It's not like the predominantly OM that's on there, easy to get, but YLs are a little more difficult. So in February, this coming February, look for our YLOM contest, and it will be on our contest page on the website. And all the YLs can get certificates for worked all states and DXCC, worked all continents, and worked 100 different YLs. I think
And
that would,
the guys can get it too.
oh, the guys can get it too. Interesting. And have you worked 100 different YLs?
Yes.
You have. That's fabulous. Carol, what about you?
I haven't counted. Sorry.
Well, I know I haven't, and I cherish every contact I have with a YL. So, okay. Oh, here's the certificates for YLs only. It's continuous membership, and then our annual friendship award. And every year it's different, but it's usually you get 10 contacts. At least that's what I remember on some of the friendship awards, 10 contacts with others, and you're eligible for a certificate. So where do you find a YL? Well, you have to think about the fact that you find a YL in every other place that you see an OM. We have our nets, our YL nets. People get on Echolink, and that's a lot of fun. Especially new people that have just got their license or haven't really engaged in a lot of ham radio activities. They're finding Echolink to be a lot of fun and interesting. I see a lot of folks on Facebook. There's many ham radio Facebook pages for women only. And so I see what people are, I surf those pages because I want to see what they're interested in and what they're doing. And a lot of them are doing parks on the air. That is a really big item right now. Parks on the Air, Summits on the Air, and they're really active. And we just had the Queen of the Mountain, and that was I believe a Summits on the Air contest, and it was women doing that, and very interesting. We publicized that for them. You'll see us at ham conventions, and I don't know if many of you have been to Pacificon in Northern California, but Carol and I've been to Pacificon many years, over and over and over, and so you may see us there. I know, Anne. Anne, you want to talk a minute about Dayton and the Ham Club of the Year Award?
Yeah, we were very pleased and very fortunate this year to be nominated and to win the Ham Amateur
Club of
Radio
the
Club of the Year for Dayton, or Hamvention actually it happens in Xenia, but nobody's ever going to stop calling it Dayton. I don't think it was in Dayton for the last 40 years anyway. It was always in some suburb of Dayton, but it's very well known and always was the biggest. This year the attendance was over 36,000. So
Wow.
it was a lovely weekend. We didn't only one morning of a bit of rain. However, DARA, the sponsoring club of Hamvention, hosts a banquet to which representatives of there were very varied awards given out. And we were invited as winners of Club of the Year. We had a full table with Cheryl Muir, N0DB, N0WBV accepted the award for us at the presentation. We have a beautiful plaque. Picture of it will be up on the website, or maybe already is. It's definitely going to be in the next issue of Harmonics. Also present was past Vice President Carol Lafferty, K4SAF, past President Linda Metz, KC8PKY, and myself, and our spouses were also with us. So it was very nice to be there and enjoy seeing other famous amateur radio operators who received awards. Was a
Ward Silver. Ward Silver was one, right?
Yes, his second time around.
Yeah. He's a very nice man. Well, we were very proud of that award, and I'm glad that you were there and, with the group to accept that. That was wonderful. So again, we are at conventions. We're on the air. I know Carol Lafferty is our certificate manager, and she chases DX, and you'll find her on the air all the time, working for more certificates, and she's great. You'll find women building antennas and their own equipment, and again, everywhere where any other amateur radio operator is, you will find OYL. And I hope that you'll welcome them to your club meetings and make them feel really great and help them out. Be an Elmer. We encourage them to go to your club meetings, local club meetings, and to find an Elmer and get some help.
And you didn't mention field day, but
Oh,
many YLs
yeah.
adore field day. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to be the safety officer for our field day locally, and I always enjoy going to field day. It's a lot of fun. So, what does the future hold for the YLRL? Well, I think we should talk about that. This is our trademark Woman on the World, and you'll find us at conventions. And one of our big conventions is the HamCon, at Zion. I don't know why they call it at Zion or Zion because it's really at St. George, Utah. But we will be there July 11th through the 14th, celebrating our 85th anniversary. We're excited to partner with HamCon Zion. They've been very welcoming to us and making us feel like we are very special and a special part of this convention. So the convention for Zion is really just the 12th and 13th, I believe. But we are there the 11th through the 14th. And we will have a uh, meet and greet, president's breakfast and luncheon, and various other activities. They are having some tours for us, and it'll be a great time, and we're really looking forward to it. This is our picture from 2018, when we had our last convention in Oklahoma City. I see Anne. I see myself. Carol, are you in that one? Did you go to Oklahoma? You did. Okay.
Yes, I was there. I'm in that picture.
I
You can see me in the back row there, a little bit to the
third,
left.
third from the
Oh,
left.
I see you. I see you. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we had a great time. It was a lot of fun and
And that's
interesting.
the last one we had before COVID wiped out everything.
Yes, that's so true. Some of the things you might see at the convention might be Andrea Slack in her Rover mobile. She has a great Rover mobile, and I remember so clearly seeing that in the drive-up area of the hotel right in front as she drove up, and it was quite amazing. And I was so amazed by it. I went to her QRZ page, and I've written it down here on the screen. I hope you'll have an opportunity to go look at her page. She shows the radios inside the Rover, and it's amazing. She's done so much work on that vehicle and has had such fun with it. And I believe she is coming to Zion. I had heard she is. I had twisted her arm when we had a district meeting and said, we really want to see you there and maybe you'll bring that Rover. So she does, I think, reside more on the East Coast. So well, go ahead,
She
Ann.
she lived her home address is New Jersey, but she's been working for like 3 years or more in Texas.
Yeah.
She does a lot. She has participated in the Rover contests. I think that's what they're called.
Oh,
And she's been a winner several times. You go back in some old QST magazines, you'll find the scores and see that she's done
she's,
very well.
oh yeah, she's great. So we hope to see her in Zion. So to-dos, are there any other YLs on here tonight besides Anne and Carol and I?
Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, is that Elsie?
Elise,
Elise. Thank you. Thank you for coming on tonight.
I'm doing some things while sorry, got the wrong thing there. I've been trying to clean up while I listen to you guys.
That's all
Um,
right.
but I have a FARS board meeting to go to soon at
Okay.
7:30 or so.
Okay.
On too.
So they wanted me to be a board member a while ago, and I've been a board member since. I can't always make it to it, but it's Wednesday nights once a month,
Okay.
7:30.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Sure. I'm not sure if I'm actually a member now or not. It might have expired. It might not have. When I go to Pacificon, I try to renew.
Good. Good. Thank you. So I just would encourage people to, if you're a YL, join us, and you can join on the YLRL.net website. It's $15 a year if you're an OM online here tonight and your wife is a ham or your significant other or your partner. It's you can mention it to them, $15 a year, pretty small amount for what you get in support, and the harmonics is fabulous. So it's a digital publication, and we would encourage you to share that information. Um, as I said before, each issue contains information from all the districts, and we include Canada and any DX countries, a youth column, and we also have a scholarship program. And I must have missed that page in here. Must have gone by it too quickly, but we have a scholarship program in here in the YLRL. We have two $2,000 scholarships and one $1,000 scholarship. The $1,000 scholarship is for a part-time student. The $2,000 scholarships are for a full-time student. Uh, the amateur radio group FAR is the one who actually helps us to administer the scholarships and looks at all the applications and does all of the interviewing and selects the best qualified candidates. And that candidate is a YL and an amateur radio operator. As I said, I've surfed the YL Facebook pages, and there's many of them out there. Join a YL net, and you want to put a plug in for your net?
We try to call it not a net. I try not to be a directed net. It's we call it a meetup on Wednesday nights, and it's going on right now, maybe without me, I hope. Usually on 20 meters around 14288 if we can grab the frequency. If not, we find a clear frequency. Carol's a regular. Thank you, Carol. And we usually have people, gals from all over the country. I can't name them all right now, but we have regulars in Arizona, Missouri, Indiana, myself in Massachusetts, and we've had check-ins in California, Carol in California. We've had check-ins from Oregon, Alabama, Mississippi, Virginia, Texas, Oklahoma. So it just depends somewhat on conditions, somewhat on people's schedules, like most things of that nature, you know. Like I'm not, like I'm not there tonight.
And I know Judy Cox is supportive of doing
She has a net.
yeah, a net, and I see that they have topics that they talk about, and it's very interesting, various
It's
topics.
also there's a Facebook net on the Alara node. Alara is the Australian Ladies Amateur Radio Association. They have a Facebook node, a Echolink node, and they allow any women's group to have a net on their node. They just have to ask for permission. This one's been going on Thursday nights for several years. The Minnow Club up in the Northwest had a net going a little bit later, and there was a net that was started by some gals down in, originally started by a couple of gals down in Alabama, Georgia. Can't remember, Georgia, I think. Right, it was Georgia. They started it. It's gone on, and just in the last couple of months, we merged those two nets. They were following each other. Now they're all together, and it's a drop-in net. You can come and go as you like. And just a plug for Echolink that sometimes people say, oh, it's not real radio. It's been such a gateway to get gals who are techs to go ahead and go for the general or the extra, because they, as those of us who have those privileges talk about what we do, they get interested and go, oh, I want to do that. And they go ahead and get their upgrades. So I don't put down Echolink because it's a wonderful gateway for techs to be able to find out what's really out there. Because unfortunately, a lot of YLs get their tech license, and all there is to talk to is a few neighbors on 2 meters, and that's not very exciting after a while.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So I would just encourage you to participate in any district Zoom meetings if you're a YL. We're having district Zoom meetings. I've finished districts 1 through 8, and I'm setting up 9 and 10, the DX ladies and the Canadian group. So those are the last 4 that I need to meet up with, and I hope to do that before HamCon Zion. Fingers crossed. But we're looking forward to seeing everybody at Zion face to face instead of being on the air or seeing each other on Zoom. And I think that concludes our presentation for tonight. And I will turn that back over, I think, to Dan.
Dan, it is. And how are you doing? That's a great presentation. I learned a lot about you guys.
Oh, great.
Before I forget, be sure to email your presentation to me after we're done here.
Okay.
And I noticed earlier, Kid Dance, if I pronounced that right, DA3KKE had his hand up. Do you still want to ask a question? Hello?
That's
Yeah,
Candace.
sorry about that. Yes, my name is Candice and I'm from Toronto, and you were asking for YLs, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm a YL, but I'm new. I just by chance found out about your meeting tonight, so I'm all excited. Thank you very much for having it.
Well, thank you, Candace. There is quite a group of VA or Canadian folks on in our group, our YLRL group, and so we would encourage you to join us.
Hey,
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Nisi's with us also, K1ULN out in Massachusetts. Hi, Nisi.
Hi there. Hi, watching the Celtics.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad that we have another YL. We've got a number of you on. That's great. Any other questions?
Barry,
Comments?
how are we doing in the chat?
Dan.
Say again, Barry?
We're good in chat.
Okay, good in chat. Okay, well, we may be wrapping this up a little early. When I get this all done, I will put this on YouTube and other platforms, and I'm sending you the link so you can put in your newsletter and stuff to be sure that you'll get other RLs and YLRLs. What's the video here?
Well, Dan, we'll definitely put it on our Wild Harmonics with the link so people can go to it and take a look. And maybe we'll put it on our website. I think that's a better click. They can just click on the link that way.
Whatever works, whatever works.
Yes.
Okay, if you're gonna call out there for questions, anybody got any more questions out there? Anybody got any answers out there?
Yeah, I did post in the chat that the convention's going to be at HamCon Zion, and it's called Zion because St. George, Utah is near the Zion National Park in Utah. Apparently, that's the reason for that.
I saw that. Thanks for coming on and telling us that.
And Wayne wants to know if Candace is the one that does the 11 a.m. net sometimes.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Oh, excellent. I always like to see a lady get on there and do those net control duties.
It's fun, and the guys are wonderful.
Oh, that's great. Do you have any other YLs on there?
There are 2 others.
Okay, wonderful.
What is your net on?
146.985.
So 2 meters.
2 meters?
2 meters. Yes, I'm sorry. I should have said that right.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I'd like to just bring up a point that got me confused at the very beginning is that there is another net called the YL International Single Sideband Net. And you would think by going on that net, you're going to hear a bunch of YLs, but they're mostly OMs. And the history of that net is the original founders of the net were YLs, from what I understand. But it's funny, you can listen to that net on 20 meters and all of these OMs calling themselves YLs, but it's just the history of the net. It's kind of strange.
Go ahead, Ann.
Apparently, I have some friends who are members. Apparently, in their bylaws, it still requires that a YL be the president of that organization. However, they admitted men to the club many, 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 many years ago after starting out as a YL club. And given numbers, you know what happened. And you can see that now. That's why we don't have what OM members, because we want to stay being a YL club.
Yeah.
Hey, Candace, put your hand up again.
Yes, thank you very much, Dan. 146.985 is tied into Echolink.
Okay,
So I
What-
don't
what
Yeah.
node?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look it up and let you know.
Okay,
Okay.
look at again for some more questions out there. Hand held up, just jump in and say something. Been a great presentation.
Vicky,
Appreciate you guys coming on.
Vicky, why don't you close your screen?
I've tried. I've tried and I hit stop sharing and nothing happens.
Hold on.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
That's why I give him the rights I do.
Ah, thank you so much. Now I can
Um,
see everybody.
Yes.
Dan, it's Candace again. If I tell you, V as in Victor, A as in Alpha 3, Victor, Whiskey, X-ray, -L.
Okay, say it again.
Okay.
Say it again, please.
Victor, Alpha 3, Victor, Whiskey, X-ray, -L.
Okay, very good. It's a link from that repeater. Okay,
Yes,
excellent. Then I can
great.
look at. And what time is it on?
11 Eastern Standard.
On what day?
Oh, it's every day of the week, but I'm on Mondays.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions out there? Answers or comments or? Well, with that in mind, I'm gonna say 73. And you guys can say 33.
33
to you.
33 to each other YL to YL.
33
Yeah.
and
80
73.
And 88's to you, Dan.
And 7-3 to all the guys.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.
All
Thank
right.
you very, very much.
Thanks
Yes.
for having us. We appreciate
It's
it.
been a pleasure. Hope to have you on more often. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna pull the plug here, say 7-3, and we'll see you down the log book.